man. What's going on?
Good.
What's up, George?
Good to meet you, man.
Can you see
Chilling
our
out,
heads
man.
on this?
Yeah,
Can you
what?
see our heads on it? Oh, we're on air. I was just gonna say, can you see our heads?
Yeah,
I can
yeah, yeah. I
see.
see it. My two
I see. You can see the lack of development in my upper pec right now. I don't know if I
uh,
should put a shirt on, but it's fucking 90 degrees here in Long Island right now.
It's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty bad.
I ain't
chill.
complaining
So
here in
yeah.
South Carolina. It's beautiful.
I'm in
That's
North
So
nice.
Carolina, right
That's
with you.
good.
Same place.
Where are you?
Carolinas. I'm like 20 minutes outside of Charlotte, Lake Norman.
Oh, I'm about 20 minutes outside of Columbia in Lexington.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I know where you
Nice.
are.
nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
But
welcome, George Brown, one of my favorite men's physique competitors of all time. The best calves on any men's physique competitor in the history of the sport.
That's my
I'm gonna
mom.
go. And he
Oh,
doesn't. Do you even train your calves?
nah, I fell out like that. All of us. Me, I got three sisters. All three of them. We all got them. It's my mom. All of them.
that's awesome.
Bro, he can. If he puts size on, he can go in the open with those calves if he trained them. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, so if Generation Iron wants to pick that up as viral, Sepe says George Brown's got the best calves in men's physique. So, honestly, this is our first men's physique competitor that we have
Yeah.
on. We always have bodybuilders and stuff, but I like George. I like the consistency of George's career. I like, I like that he's a no nonsense guy, and that he's like me. And if someone asks him, "What do you think of me?" he ain't gonna lie. He's gonna tell you straight up,
I'm from the
no
Midwest,
matter
so I don't know no other way.
There you go.
no matter who you are, and congratulations on another pro win. So you're qualified for the Olympia now, George.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my ninth one, man, and this one is funny to me because I had a goal of 8 because of my trainers, Mike Davies. Like, just if I would say, just for my overall career, and then his wife is Julie Davies, Julie Palmer or whatever. And
Hmm.
I remember one year we was training. You know, me, it was early, and I'm looked over and like, man, who was the best person to come to this gym? You know, because when you go to Columbus, you're gonna go to Metro Fitness Worthington.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
Right.
High
I
Street.
yeah, who's the best person to ever come through here? And Mike looked over at me, my wife. I looked at him, well, how many she got? He said she got 8 Olympians. At the time, I had 2. So I was like, all right, bet, let me go get to work. So 3, 4, 5, 6 came, and we used to do boot camps every Saturday morning. And I remember when I got to the 6th one, I just looked over at it like, I got 700 more days to just tie. What, like, what the fuck was you on? You know what I mean? So, I tied her, and then that was it. That was my hardest year. I got the 8th one, and I took a year off. I moved down here to Charlotte, and I was just trying to like establish, some extra cash, 40 plus. I feel like I got a good program, so you can sustain. I've been able to show that in my career as far as longevity or whatever. I did the Charlotte show. I got 4th, and I lost to some younger guys. And I remember waking up the next day, and one of the dudes I lost to, he he had just got done doing an hour of cardio, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm cool. I already came for what I got for, whatever. So I was getting ready actually for a dark sport, and then Mike called me, and I was checking in, I was reversing out, and he was like, man, you can win this St. Louis show. And it was just the way that he said it. It was the same guy that had beat me in Charlotte. He was just like, man, he's like, man, that rookie dude can't beat you. And it was just the way that he said it. And from that point, mentally, that dude couldn't beat me. Period. Dot. He just
Man,
couldn't beat me. I just felt like it's over with. I can show body parts that you can't. I won that show, and then was just went over and did Pittsburgh to kind of just run the engine a little bit to see where I'm at, and I felt good about that. So right behind Ali and Vitor, I feel good. And right now I'm just having fun because I didn't really set out to do any of this. So that's the difference between this year and the other 8.
So does that mean
wow.
like you feel less pressure now because you
No
cut?
pressure, dude. I laughed. I laughed for like 2 weeks that I was like, how in the hell am I qualified? So it's just completely different than before, and I'm literally trolling because now they used to talk about my age and try to use it against me, and so now it backfired, and I'm using it against them.
Right.
It's like, no, No, when I was 35, I wish somebody who was 43 would look at me. I wish they would even sniff in my direction. So
That's like Jake. That's
like
like
I'm in.
Jake Paul. Like Jake Paul, they're like, he's supposed to. If he beats Mike Tyson, he's
Yeah,
supposed to. He's 25 years younger than him. But if
yeah,
not, Tyson's supposed to kick his ass. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like,
Frank, you've
it's
been
the
around
same
forever.
thing.
You've been around
Yeah.
forever. Look, year after year after year, and it's like, how you gonna put a timestamp on me because of I guess how it was in the future. But I mean, if I'm 43, I could have swore Sean Roden won at 43, right?
I
Yep.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Well, age doesn't mean anything now. Look at
No.
Nope.
Kamal. Look at Kamal. Look at
Yeah.
all these guys, especially I don't think you reach your maximum muscle maturity too until your late 30s, 40s. Because look at the Mr. Olympias, man, in the open. They're all older guys too. So it's just, when you're 20, you're pissing vinegar and you think who the fuck you are. And like, you gotta, I don't know. You got to tear people down. You don't know respect yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know respect. Some of them don't know respect yet. So it's like I run into some competitors at the meet and greet at the Olympia, and they're like, "Oh, I beat Chris Bumstead," and I'm like, "When?"
Not not
Like
Yeah.
recently.
at the 90 at the NPC Pebble Beach, like you
Well,
know,
when you first start out, you don't really got nothing, and then you can establish it. Then you can establish for an extended amount of time, and it's
yeah,
it's like the Patriots, it's like the San Antonio Spurs. It gets boring because you execute year after year, and people try to take away from that or act like they have anything remotely close to it. But nowadays you can be anything. You got AI. It's basically create a player, and you don't even have to have no actual
Hmm.
facts that you can say whatever. But I got a
Yep.
curacle cabinet full of 10 years worth of accomplishments. So
What George, what made you choose this division?
I like clothes. I like fashion, and it was the look that I felt that women like, and I
Uh-huh.
felt that every dude would want to look like. Everybody can't be, Nick fucking Walker. You can't be that. So I like to look good in clothes, and like if you look at Ronnie Coleman and them back in the day, they had them big suits on. I didn't like that, and I seen Michael Anderson. The reason why I compete. That was the first show that I had seen, and I was like, if I could look like that, I would look like that, and I just chose it. And like Frank know me. I'm a man's man, and I got
yeah,
tried. A lot of people definitely tried me because it was men's bikini and and all of that. And I would have some things to say to them and give them a different perspective. Listen, I'm a man for sure. I chose to do this, and I would give them a couple options of things that we could do. But Jay Cutler, to me, really broke the mold because he was the first person that came and said, like, hey, man, if I could, I would look like that. And then after that, they kind of hopped off our back as far as men's bikini or whatever. But it is
Well,
what it is.
how does that square with you, the men's bikini
Yeah.
thing? Is that I mean, because I'll admit it,
Where's your girlfriend?
I was a
Let
big
her choose.
men. What's that?
That's why when they say men's bikini, we say, where's your girlfriend? We'll let her choose. See which one she likes.
yeah. You know what? Talking about fashion. He's so right. I was in Spain. I looked across the street and I had to do a double take. I see this gigantic bodybuilder who happened to be Ronnie Coleman in an Italian tablecloth shirt, my shorts and top matching with the atomic sneakers with the giant socks. And I was like, damn.
Respect to bodybuilders though, because even classic physique. You men's physique dudes. It's just a couple guys. Stan, he made it from men's physique all the way to bodybuilding. Maybe
Yeah.
two other guys,
Right.
but it's completely different from men's physique to classic physique. That's a different type of work, a different type of muscle development. And as you keep going, that their work is to be respected. So honestly, I feel like I could put that work in, but I don't want to put that work in. I don't. So I just feel like it's a good space for me as far as where I want to work and how I want to look. That's why I picked it.
But what a good message, man. Because honestly, what is wrong with finding something that you like and going for it? Like, I don't understand how people can find a problem with that. Like, I don't get
There,
it.
there isn't
Scarface
one. I
said it
mean,
best.
No.
To me, Scarface said
choice.
it best. He said, you need people like me. You know why? Because you're afraid to be who you want to be, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I just don't. And that's the
But George,
problem. People care about what somebody else thinks.
you're always in shape. I mean, I follow you on Instagram, and I know you're doing your thing at the gym, and you're always in shape. How long does it take you to dial in once you set a goal for a show? How far out do you get ready?
Well, a full prep is 16 weeks.
Okay.
It just depends. Now, because I'm at this part of my career, I can't do what I used to do. I could party all summer, and then 6 weeks, look at my Mike, you ready? And then go, but you can't do that now. So an analogy that we use is Kobe Bryant with his back to the basket now. Michael Jordan with his back to the basket. You can still get 3 or 4 years just because I can be a better professional than you. I can eat my food. I got experience. So that's what my advantage is over the competition right now. And honestly, I'm taking Nick Walker's approach, meaning Nick Walker doesn't get a break eating food. You know why? Because motherfucking Samson's over there, and they don't show. So that's the approach that I use for men's physique. They want to get a break. No, I'm going to eat my food every day like I'm Kai Green. Dexter told me that. Ain't nobody out eating Kai. So as long as I do that right now, I can get you because you still worried about food. I've been doing
Yep.
this 11 years. This is the food that I eat every day. I don't really know anything else but this.
That's the
George, in the
best way to
comment,
do it, man. You train your body to that level of consistency, and it's just used to it, and you stay at that level no matter what. I mean, so it's really smart to do that. And I've always been against, this stuff after the show, gain 40 pounds,
Yeah.
maintain it off season, then start dieting, and I mean, it's just an endless, worthless
Roller
roller
coaster.
coaster,
But look at Frank.
carousel that you go around.
It's the same thing with Frank. You watch Frank the whole time. I know him. I'm looking the same way. Like, damn, he older than me, and look at him. Look at Dexter. And I know a lot of people. So George Farrer one time he wrote up on me, and George, what the fuck is this? And so when I seen him in Pittsburgh, the first thing I did was, you remember what you said, and he was going to Ali. He had Ali. Yeah, I know where I'm at. I know whatever, but it's just out of respect that I have for him. I know what he expects from me. And so that's something else. I know what people are expecting from me. So right now I'm showing professionalism, and I'm giving them a timestamp on kind of how far you could take your career. I started at 31. I'm 43 now in the men's physique division. So I'm giving them a bar of how long you can sustain.
so we got
Yeah,
a
Zach.
comment here. It's from Roger Lockridge. He's a bodybuilding
A
writer,
writer.
health and fitness writer. He's been everywhere. He says, what does George think his strongest points are compared to Ryan Terry?
So Ryan Terry, me and Ryan Terry was 1-2 and 15 at Pittsburgh. If you look at the show, Ryan just gets sharp. I feel like as long as I go get sharp, then I can stand, right there with him. Like I said, we came in at the same time. Ryan really went to work. He's a dog. He's a dude that came from vending machines. He used to shortstop vending machines before he got his first supplement deal. I've known him my entire career. When he didn't have a family, he have a full blown family right now. So the same thing that he showed as far as execution, as far as being a professional, being in the league for over 10 years, is the same thing that I feel like I'm showing this year. So I have more muscle than he does. Aesthetically, I have that same ab structure. I just got to go get sharp with Ryan. He's going to be sharp, and he improved his back. So I think I have wow factor. He has wow factor. It's just it's a tough matchup. He's Mr. Olympia for a reason right now, but I feel like if I do everything I'm supposed to do, I can be right there.
As a former IFBB Pro League judge, let me tell you, people sleeping on men's physique. It is one of the most difficult classes because if you're not dialed in 100%, you're gonna drop from first to fifth. And if you watch the Olympias over the last couple of years, watch what happened. The degree of separation is so small between if you're not at your 100% peak, like George says, he's got more muscle, this and that. He's got to dial himself the same abs, like he's got to dial himself in. But it's like it's crazy how people in the gym like, oh, I could do men's physique because they look good in a tank top. No, 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 no. It is a whole other level of conditioning that you have to get into. There's beach, there's
Yeah.
okay, you got your shirt off, people like, wow, that guy looks good. Then there's NPC, then there's regular IFBB, and then there's Mr. Olympia. and it is a whole other ball game between those. And if, like George says, he doesn't come in, he's got more muscle, but he's going to come dialed in at his best. He's going to
Yeah.
go all the way down to 10 to 16. It's just the way
And
it
then they
is.
your old self. So it's just like
Yeah.
Dexter said, man, if I don't come up with striated glutes, you might forget about it. Because we've seen so many different packages that Dexter's brought.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
So after, I'm sorry,
No, go right ahead, dude. Go ahead. You got this one.
I just want to ask you, George. This is always kind of like when I see guys such as yourself that have been in the game a while, in a relatively new game. Us as bodybuilders, we had the whole history of bodybuilding since the 50s. We could say, well, I like this guy. I like Arnold's arms. I like Tom Platz's legs. I like all the way through history. We have had guys we could look up to model our training after, model our physiques after, our aspirations, whatever. You come along into a pretty fairly new division comparatively to the other ones, and there's really no lineage of heroes, for lack of a better word. How do you like set the stage for your motivation if you have no one standing in that spot, or very few people standing in that spot? What do you do to move forward to say, I want to be like this guy, or this guy sets the standard, or whereas you kind of are? So where do you look for your inspiration?
Well, like you said, we didn't have nothing. So I had a mentor at the time, luckily enough, that told me that I needed to research the history of bodybuilding. So the same people that you look at to draw inspiration from is the same people that I have. I have Kevin Brownie's number in my phone. I have Jay Cutler. I have the same people. Those are the same people that I drew from. If we're just in a different division, what I mean? But they are the meat and potatoes. So people be like, oh, men's physique, we're a popular division, but we ain't filling up arenas. So we went back to the roots. You can see me on stage with the Tom Platz when he right here. I did all of that. You know what I mean? Research. Those are the same people that I drew from. And now,
That's
because
interesting.
I time, but now look, that's the people that are looking at me that I have to make sure that I'm the way I'm supposed to be. And you know how it is in that area. That's the area y'all come from. So I remember one time I got on stage, I looked at Dexter hitting the front wall. I'm like, am I on? He looked at me. He really, kind of looked off, and I got his attention. Am I on? You ain't on. You know what I mean? Jay came to me a couple shows. George, I thought you should have won. Hey, Jay, what you think about this show? Nah, I sing you better. He got that accent, but long story short, bodybuilders, the actual open bodybuilders, you know. And
Yeah.
then as the divisions came, 212 came. I'll never forget George the Bull, rest his soul, and Breon. They told me that they were watching me before, their divisions came out. I'm like, what? But there was no classic physique when men's physique came out, so they were looking at bodybuilders too, but then we could get in shape. So they were looking at our conditioning compared to, the open bodybuilding.
So there's a question, a follow up. Arnold wants to know what you think of Ali. He says, I guess he's going to win the men's physique game this Olympia. I mean, that's a speculation, obviously, but I don't know if he's trying to get you riled up or if he's or whatever. But
I think Ali, you got to understand where I'm at. I think Ali is good. I think he's young. I think he has a good look. I think he's good for business. He's everything that we need as far as a new wave of guys. He's in shape.
Yeah.
He's likable. He has everything that the league needs. So I think he's definitely good for business, and he's got a bright future. He's got George Farah in his corner, so he's gonna come in. I think he's good. I think I pushed him. I'm 43, so I feel good. But I think he looks good. I ain't got nothing negative to say about it. I think he's a cool dude. He's funny.
That's cool. I didn't know. Listen, I take these questions and I throw them out there. I never know what's behind some of them. Sometimes I also get some for John, and I ask him, and boy, I wish I didn't. But it's
what's funny? It's like if you go on social media after Ryan Terry won, and we'll keep it real, people are like, oh, he's winning because he's got the look for men's physique. He's going to bring it to the next level, which is not in the judge's mind at the Olympia. Because I could tell you, because think about all the past winners. You had Jeremy Bundia, Brandon Hendrickson. You had Raymond Edmonds, Aaron Banks. So from what I understand, Ryan was in that show all those times. So
He
I'm
definitely
like,
was.
so You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
he
Like
was.
people fabricate this bullshit of like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, he's winning because he's gonna take the lead. No, he was in the show at the same time as these people were the last 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he competed against George in 2015. So
yeah.
it is what it
Right.
is. But is there a particular physique, George, besides your own, that you've looked at over the last 10 years in men's physique and said,
Well, it
wow,
had to be
like that has impressed you?
Andre. Yeah, definitely Andre. You know what I
Andre
mean?
Ferguson?
Yeah, me and Andre will choose each other. You know, I feel like we got similar structure. But I mean, he has everything. Period. Dot. You know what I mean? If he comes down, he's very hard to beat. You know, if I had to pick one over me, then I would probably roll with Dre. Definitely. You know what I mean?
He's
It's a reason
he's
why
one
he
of
got the most wins all time.
he's one of the few men's physique guys who can pull off well the hands on front of your hips when you see him when he's standing there. Many guys like Sadiq will cock to the right, like his
Yeah.
body a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like Andre full on got those crazy round delts. So when they say gentlemen to the front, Andre's front center with those
Yeah.
crazy delts, and he just looks good. But he's another one people are sleeping on. Don't sleep on him because Ryan Terry, no one expected him to win the Mr. Olympia
How
last
can you
year,
sleep on a guy
and
that got the most wins? He's got 18 wins. I put it to you like this. I just got my ninth win, which is fourth all time. He has
wow,
twice. He's
Wow.
twice.
well you
Wow.
need 40, you need 46 like Ashley Kaltwasser, bro.
That's
Like
crazy. I don't really know
37
where.
miles.
That's crazy to me. I don't know how she does it, but
So,
does
so
it.
how much longer are you going to chase that, George?
Well, like, I was done 2020. That's why I laugh at night. You know what I mean? Like I was done. Right now, I'm feeling good. So as long as I feel good, I'm writing. You know, like I said, I didn't even expect that this year to go the way that it's going. But I mean, I asked myself, you know, why do I have this energy? Why do I feel like this? I'm writing. Why am I on my food? You know, I went to Miami, brought food. I don't have nothing on the radar. I'm just in the zone, locked in, and you know, you know what? I want 10 wins. That's why I
Oh,
need to go
good.
like
That's
10
it. Go
wins.
like
And
that.
yeah, now seriously, that's what it is. And I like, you know, when I'm locked in on something, I want it, and I want 10 wins. That's why.
so, so, okay, you get 10. Let's say you get 15. Let's say you get 20. Where's the evolution of George Brown is going to be something in this industry, right? So
I'm in,
where are you going to
so
go with this?
I'm in Ghost Gyms right now. I'm a part of Ghost Gyms Carolina. Mike Rottini's
Nice.
Unchanged Physiques. So that's what I do also. So everything is kind of running together. So like I'm at work right now, but I can work out. We still have our teams. You know what I mean? Everything is that. And right now I'm general manager, but we're growing. We have 13 gyms right now, and our
Wow.
goal is 55 to be the largest franchise, you know, in the U.S. as far as Ghost Gyms. So I'm definitely a part of that group, and I expand on growing with them, but still being a part of bodybuilding with Unchained Physiques, you know, and I still get to like when I go to shows now that I realize I seen Vitor, he just won the Miami show, and those dudes are waiting for what we have to say to them because of a body of work over the last 10 years, you know, and it feels good. You know, honestly, they look up to you and they hang on to every word that you say, and it's cool to watch them go through what you did. So that's where I'm at.
Cool.
Wow.
I have a. This is a really tough question. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer it. We're known for throwing out some very difficult, hard hitting questions.
Pretty
Yes.
good. Shoot it. I'm pretty good.
Shopping online or in store? Which do you
Ooh.
prefer?
In store all day.
That's
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interesting.
terrible. I'm a
Yeah.
terrible online shopper. Now, if I got like a female to do it for me, then yeah. But me, terrible. I'm gonna pick the wrong thing. I need to feel it. I'm from 1980. I know I'm not that, you know, old, but like I need to go into the store and like, okay, yeah, this is it right here. I can't shop online at all.
Especially for clothes, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how people shop for clothes online. My wife buys everything online. I go, I don't understand how
Hey,
you
I
do
got
that.
one for y'all. I got one for y'all.
Yes,
Syrup in the refrigerator or in the cabinet.
In the refrigerator.
I do refrigerator. I think we do refrigerator. Yeah, we do. What about you, Frank? Frank's
Yes.
like
No, it's
Frank's
wrong. You're
thinking
supposed to
like
keep
he's.
it in the cabinet, but I always keep it in the fridge.
I can't help it. I
The
guess it's just
fridge,
something
Actually, the
man.
we
correct
did.
answer is
I
there's
don't
no
know
syrup.
anybody in the black community that keeps their syrup in the damn refrigerator.
So,
No.
so
Oh man.
No, the
so you know,
syrup.
let me throw this at you, cause
Oh,
so I'm from Queens, New York. My syrup,
okay.
my maple syrup was always in my cabinet in Queens. was stuck to the bottom where you
Yeah,
pull it
cut the
up,
bottom.
there'd
Yeah.
be wood
Yeah,
underneath
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it was Caro syrup. It wasn't. It
Oh
was called
no.
Caro.
No.
Right. It wasn't regular like Aunt Jemima back in the day or anything. It was Caro, which is like, I don't know. It was like poison. Or it was like diabetic
I
poison.
know what you're talking about, but yeah, nah, I keep mine. Somebody had asked that. It was the same type of question.
But
All right,
going
another one.
back to
One
what you
more.
said,
We got. Well,
go
can I
ahead,
do
go
one
ahead.
more? All right, tacos.
Absolutely.
Hard shell or soft shell? Because we have a taco. We have a new taco out at Frank Sepe Taco. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is
We got a
Tommy
hard
new
shell or
one.
Taco,
soft shell?
Tommy
Hard one,
Tacos.
man. If I had to choose, man, I would go hard, man.
I'm going soft shell.
Yeah,
That's not
when they
traditional,
came
you
out
know.
with the ones with both, I would get the ones with both, you know. But y'all making me choose, so
Well,
like
the
one with I like crunch, so I would have to go
the
with hard.
Sep, the Sepi shredded taco at Tommy Tacos
What?
has a soft one because you got to put everything in. If you bite on the
Yeah,
hard shell,
I
everything
know.
falls out. It's messy.
That's right.
Like my
Well, doesn't Taco Bell have like a soft one, a hard one in a
What
soft one?
they have the
bro,
holders now. You can eat the hard taco in like the holder, and it don't get messy.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been to,
Well,
I haven't been to Taco Bell since '88.
No,
if you go to Mexico, you can't find a hard shell taco. You can
No,
find
Really?
what's called taquitos, which are like rolled up and fried. But every taco stand in Mexico is soft tacos.
Man,
Yeah,
And they're
so every
taco
time
for
I have
me.
tacos, tequila, I got to drink tequila. Every time I have tacos too, because usually the places I eat tacos, except for where my taco is in the month, are seedy, shitty places. So to kill the bacteria, I got it down there with the tequila, like a bad sushi place, John. You got to drink a ton of sake with it just to kill the bacteria.
So the alcohol kills the poison, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just, George, it sounds like you got. It sounds like you're staying in shape because you got like. I don't know if you're married or not, but do you have a young girlfriend? Because that's usually what happens.
yeah, yeah, uh, 29. So
Aha!
All right.
No,
All right.
I got you
It's
all
funny.
beat.
What do you got?
25.
Your girlfriend's 25.
No, she's 25 years younger than me.
Oh, I
oh,
was,
Oh,
But
I was gonna call the cops.
well,
yeah.
started when she was we got together when she was 24, so that was,
Wow,
Good
25.
Lord.
Wow, that. Well, look, man, keeps you young. But honestly,
right, it does. So
43
I'm sure.
nowadays, you'll be in shape for the rest of your life because you love to
Yep.
train, George. So it's like you could probably step on stage at 60 and still place or win a show. To be honest with you, because it all comes down to consistency. And as you get older, if you keep tight, people have that loose skin and stuff, which you won't. That's usually
yeah,
the biggest. If you look at somebody's skin, that's a telltale a sign of aging and stuff. And if you stay consistent and you train and you eat right, you're not going to lose that. So I could see you competing. I like to see you at the Olympia at 60 because like Vince Taylor at 50 used to kick
Yeah,
everybody's
right.
ass.
I'm trying to be a
Yeah,
part of the
man.
yacht club, man. I ain't trying to
The yacht
yacht
club.
club.
Yeah,
60, 25 years
bro.
younger. 25 years younger too. I need that too.
Yep. That
Yeah,
will work.
but you know what? You could be on the yacht, and you could look the part of a top Olympia competitor too. So you can have
Absolutely,
both worlds.
absolutely.
So I want to bring this up because I just got this right before we
Uh-oh.
hit the live button here. So I'm doing an event, a race at the end of this month, and it's kind of a weird race. And the first challenge that I have to do just came like in my inbox. So here it is. It's called Underwater Rubik's Cube Challenge. I have to use the traditional 9 square per side Rubik's Cube, mix the cube up, solve the cube while my face and head are underwater, and the cube must also be underwater. If you need to come up for air, you have to bring your hair up, you must stop rotating the cube to solve it. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I've never, besides cheating, I moved the stickers around. That's how I've done these before.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Man, sound like the movie Saw.
I think so. It might be.
Yeah,
I mean,
Damn, yeah,
oh,
right.
bro.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
you're gonna have to get a Rubik's Cube already solved and shove it someplace where you don't want it, and then bury the
No,
other
here's
one
what
under the water and come up with like,
no,
damn,
no,
look.
I got it figured out for him. Here's what he does. You solve the Rubik's Cube, right? And then you
Okay.
cut 6
Yeah,
little squares of paper, right? And you
yeah.
draw little squares on them that they're all mixed up. All right. So you throw your cube when you grab your Rubik's Cube, you tear those little sheets off and boom, it's solved.
I never
There you
solved
go.
one of those in my life. You know how hard it is to
Neither
solve a
have
Rubik's
I.
Cube?
Me neither. No, I don't know. And so I haven't even started this thing yet, and I'm already behind.
I don't
That's how-
Can any of you guys solve a Rubik's Cube? I can't.
Never.
Is there a trick? Can
Never.
somebody tell me how to do it?
There is a
Oh.
trick. There is a pattern that you gotta do. I just don't know it.
And if I had the 2 hours to try to do it, I'd find something else that I'd like to do. 2 hours in a day.
Yeah,
Are you
isn't
gonna
that
buy
crazy?
one, Zach?
Yeah, I have
Are
to
you
go
gonna
buy
buy
one.
one instead?
I don't have one. I don't
Oh.
have. Shockingly, I don't have a Rubik's
Hey,
cube.
hey, listen, Google
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Google.
Google.
YouTube
Yes.
video.
everything. Find
Everything.
everything
Yes.
on there. There you go, right there.
Oh,
But isn't that a
man.
crazy indictment on our society that we have kids that will actually sit there with a cube in their hand and do this shit for hours and hours and hours. Don't play baseball, they don't ride bikes, they don't go outside, they're just doing this shit, and then they're doing this shit. And it's like,
You get
what
more.
do you
You
get?
get more
What do you get
views.
in 20 years,
You get more views solving a Rubik's Cube than you do riding your bike down the street.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you set yourself on, like, do something stupid, like, you know, shoot your. I don't know. I'm not even gonna say it, but it is what it is.
You ever
Yeah.
see
But
those guys that do it with one hand behind their
Yes.
back? And it's like unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
There's got to
insane.
be a button to press on the side. There's got to be you got to be able to get a fake one.
I'll
But
bet
yeah,
you,
the death race.
yes. I'll bet you that if you look online, you will find like a self-solving Rubik's cube. You just push the
Absolutely.
button there, and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there's
it does
gotta
it all.
be.
Yeah, it has to be.
So, speaking of lazy people, George, you've been you're a trainer now too, right? You train people at the facility as well. I know
I
you're
mean,
managing it.
I manage the facility, but yeah,
You do? Okay. So
yeah.
how many people, like, as a bodybuilder and when I was a trainer and I was a bodybuilder, everyone used to come up to me and they're like, oh, I want to get in shape, but I don't want to look like you. I don't want to be as big as you. Do you come across that with men's physique too? Or like, I want abs, but I don't want to be as dialed in as you. Like, what do they say?
people people have their preference. People are just delusional. You get my uncle looked just like you. You get all of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
But they want it, but they want it the way that they want it, and they don't understand. It's many a days where you just gotta go, go do something that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? But on the
Yeah.
back end, you're gonna want, so. Everybody wants a shortcut. They don't want to hear the truth when you tell them, well, how do you get in shape? Well, you got to wake up, you got to stretch, you got to foam roll, maybe grab some coffee. You're going to have to do this every single day. But after that, or you can say, hey, man, you take this pill right here. Oh, thank you. And then they're gone.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's funny because Frank talks about this too. Of all the jobs and things that he's done, it's like you get this tough skin from rejection, and also I think people being honest with you when you have people that are like, yeah, you look better before. You say that to folks who aren't ready for it or don't know it's coming, and they're crushed. Whereas other people like use it as motivation and they use it to learn.
That is George Farah that just grabbed you. He literally grabbed me. He looked at me. What the fuck is this? And he turned around and walked off. And I didn't see him for 2 years until I just seen him in Pittsburgh. And because it's him, and I know he has that expectation, the first thing I rolled up to him with the same energy was, you remember what you said to me the last time? And he's like, George. And I'm like, nah, because it's you. I wanted to make sure when I came in, you're never going to tell me that ever again, because I know what you expect, and that's the list goes on for everybody that he works with, so
You know,
I just want to hold
I
that standard.
I always say you got to have a come to Jesus moment in your life. And many people can handle it, many people can't. Like training at Bev's, at the peak of my bodybuilding, I'm training with Dorian Yates. He's in a tank top. I had a come to Jesus moment about my bodybuilding career. I trained with Ronnie Coleman at Club Metrics. I had a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I was on stage when I last I competed, and Kevin Levrone was the guest poser, and we handed the trophy out, and Kevin was like, back in the day they came in like, they weren't in shape, and I was at the top. I was like 250 on stage and was standing there like, you look better than Levrone. I never drank the Kool-Aid, like, because I knew
Yeah,
Kevin probably didn't train for like 4 months. He was out. Like,
yeah.
fast forward 16 weeks later, like, Kevin's getting ready for the Olympia. Looked like I would never be able to look like in my life. But many, many people can't handle rejection and the truth. When Andre Ferguson, Andre came to me backstage at the Olympia. He came to me after he stepped off. He goes, "What do you think?" I go, "Sixth,
Mm-hmm.
fifth, sixth," and he was sixth to fifth. When his bodybuilder came to me at the gym, he goes, "I'm the biggest I've ever been." I look, he was 280. He goes, "What do you think?" I go, "16th,
Yeah,
15th, if
good.
you're lucky." Like,
Yeah.
don't ask me
Hey,
if you don't
Steve.
want the truth,
Hey,
you
Steve,
know?
how I look? George, you look the best I've ever seen you. Those guys just
Yeah.
look better than you.
That's awesome. That is the
And
You're
Steve,
not
though,
your
you
friend.
asked, he didn't lie.
that
And
is
look,
fucking
I would
awesome. Oh
listen.
my
Here's the
god,
thing.
that
Here's
is
the
the
thing, though.
best.
I would take that over a motherfucking lie any day, any day. You know what I
It's
mean? Because he was George. You know, Steve. He was that man. I ain't never seen you. Best you've ever looked. You know, those guys just look better.
you
Look me
thought
dead in the eye.
Steve
You
It's
Steve
true.
loose. You
Steve
know what I
Ten.
mean?
I
So
was
it's like,
like,
okay, cool, back. I'm gonna go back to work. You know, because that's
I
what people
remember
think. Oh man, this is the best I've ever been. That's nice.
like 20 days out of my show. Steve goes, he starts
Uh,
goes like that. He goes, just do he goes, do 100 carbs for the next 10 days and come back. You're like, fuck.
but look, Frank. Even with that, I know you laughing or whatever. You talk about Ronnie Coleman and you know what I mean, all these
Yeah,
people. But Frank Seppi's name rings bells through all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
my
appreciate.
point, you got to stay in your lane. Ronnie Coleman, that was his lane.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, so you still had your lane. And look, Frank Seppi is still Frank Seppi, and that's what
yeah.
people don't get. You
But
know.
you have to have, like you said, you can't be delusional in
Yeah.
thinking. If you want to be the best at something, like George, you've been the best at this.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but for me to say open bodybuilding is like, is a different animal. Like when it comes back in the 90s, when it came to, you had Nassel Somebody, you had Dorian Yates, you had Flex Wheel, who I think has the most amazing physique ever. Chris Cormier.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a tough time of bodybuilding, but you have to realistically say, do I want to move forward with this? Do I have the passion? And we spoke about this before. If you don't have the passion for competing, then you get out. You have the
Hey,
passion, you
quick.
came in.
Real quick, because I got a meeting to go to. You
Yeah,
just
sure.
said flex. You said flex. So I seen him in Pittsburgh, and I got third, and I felt like I should have placed a little bit better. So I'm at dinner, and I see him over there, and you know how it is. I'm just talking, and he overheard me, so I'm pissed, whatever. And so I came back, and he just so happened to come back too, like as far as eating. So he pulled me over, and it's like it's little sit in your car seat time. It's flex, flex Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean Flex Wheeler. There's nothing I can say. So I'm over there, just sitting there. And he's like, hey, I know how it is. People can grill you. He's giving me the spiel about, hey, you shouldn't do that. I know how you feel. He's giving me this big talk. And I let him say everything. And I really listened to him because it's Flex. So I got to listen to him. But when I got done, I looked over him and said him, I thank you for telling me that. It's not like, I know you speaking for. It's not like you threw your trophy down. It's not like I threw my trophy down. When I didn't win or nothing like that. He started fucking dying. Remember when he didn't get the place?
Yeah.
I didn't throw my shit down. You know what I mean? At least I waited till I went to go eat. You know what I mean? Before I threw my shit. But yeah, it's cool. Just like I said, those legendary. Those are the real legendary bodybuilders. I got
Oh
relationships
yeah.
with all. You know what I mean?
That's
So I
good.
could just say this whole experience been cool for me.
Well, that's
Well,
good
Nice.
you got
because
to.
you're going to move into that category as your career progresses. So you're going to be like a legend, among them. So it fits, man. You belong there.
You got
Appreciate
9 wins.
Yeah,
it.
really. You'll have
Yeah.
10.
I'm
I
out
know you
here.
got to jump off and go.
You're going to
I
have
know
this
you got
many.
to. you
Ted.
Well,
And when I win,
we're
I'm
rooting
gonna
for
come
you,
on
man.
again and be
You got to
like,
jump.
didn't I tell you, Ted? Ted, God damn it, I want that
I
Ted.
believe you. You listen. We all believe that you're gonna go for 10.
But listen,
Okay.
that's
Because
how I'm loony.
honestly,
That's
we tell.
at 6 in the morning. I'm just loony. Like I want to do cardio. I just want to eat my food. Like that's where I'm at right now. So and then it's carrying on to business. Like I said, at Gold's Gym, I got the same energy, #1 in every category.
Ride it
So
out.
life is
Ride it
pretty good.
out because it
George,
don't last. Let me tell you.
are you going to the Olympia just to go to rehab afterwards? Club rehab, the pool.
I just left Miami. I just left Miami last weekend. We're not gonna talk about that. What I mean? I had a blast. Definitely.
Well, live your
Rehab
best
takes
Hey,
life.
lessons
I
from
cover
Miami.
have me on. Definitely, man. Frank always loved, man.
Of course,
Appreciate you.
always,
All right,
brother.
man.
Anything you need, good luck, George. Thanks
Good
for
luck,
Take it
coming
easy,
on, bro.
man.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Hey, guys.
George. Right here, bro.
Later, George.
All right, cool.
That
That's
was
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. I like him.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I didn't
He's
get a chance
funny
to
'cause-
ask the. Oh, go ahead, dude.
No, he's funny. Because if you see him in person, like, and you go up to him, he's one of those guys, like, you think he's mad all the time, but he's not. He's have a good sense of humor, and he's
Yeah.
good, like, he's cool. Like, he just, when he's training, he's serious about his training. It's cool. He's a good dude.
I like how people think I'm mad all the time. It's
Me too.
such an advantage because then people just leave me the fuck alone, which is what I want. So I'm not mad ever. I'm always really happy and laughing. But some people think I'm mad. Good. That's the job is working. I don't have to talk to anybody.
Dude,
I don't know how Zach's going to do this death race, man.
Yeah, man. I'm starting to
don't
think
either.
about that big time.
I don't either. I'm looking at the gear list they sent too. It's about 50 items deep. Some of the
What?
weird things. Yeah,
What?
Yep. Some of the weirder things are. Obviously, I got to bring the Rubik's Cube with me. This one says 2 empty Vex sandbags, contractor grade. I don't know what that is. That's cool. A sturdy sandbag, 55.5 pounds. Awesome. I think that's going to be horrible to lug around. An inflatable floaty boat that I must be able to fit in. 1 bone, needle, and thread. A beautiful peacock feather.
What? Bone?
1 bone, needle, and thread. I don't know what that
Hell is
means.
a bone needle. Do you know what that is?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like
I gotta
like
look
a
this shit
human
up.
bone?
I don't know. That's a good question. 200 squashed aluminum cans or
What?
$10+ cash for a local school donation. Okay.
How much?
200 squashed aluminum cans.
So
Okay.
here's how this is going to work. The aluminum cans go in the boat. All right. The Rubik's Cube is in one hand, and you're sloshing through the water up to here on your way to a school to donate the aluminum cans.
No, it's a school of fish. It's a school of fish. It's at the bottom. It's a school of fish that you're meeting up. They didn't specify.
Okay. So
Give me-
if I have to
Jesus
drink one of
Christ.
these, which one would it be? I have to bring an 8-ounce bottle of clam juice or Tabasco sauce. I don't know what I have to use it for, but I may have
Holy
to consume it.
8 ounces of Tabasco. I would stick with the clam juice, even if it'll make you puke. But
Yeah.
you're gonna guzzle like
that's-
10 ounces
Bro.
of. Ooh.
Yeah.
You'd be shitting fire, man. You have flames are coming out of your ass.
Yeah. I'd rather throw up, I think, than
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
fire.
throw up. If you put enough lemon juice in the clam juice, you could probably down it.
Okay. I could do that.
Yeah,
I
This is like a
guess.
school list, man. It's like a before school when I was a kid. You
it's
had the
pretty
school
big.
list.
First day of school, you get the list. You got to take it home
It's-
to your
well-
parents. I need all this shit.
I need a
Then your
loose
mom's
sleeve.
going
I need
through,
a
what do
loose
you need
sleeve.
that for?
2 number 2 pencils, a pen, a protractor.
My
Yeah.
my mother used to decide if I needed it or not. It's on the list.
Oh,
One
man.
black and white notebook.
You don't need that.
What else is on that list?
Let's see.
What else
We got
you need? Baby wipes?
have flint and magnesium, 1 piece of lumber, 2x4 by 6,
Yeah.
an axe, a handsaw, plastic 5-gallon bucket, chem lights.
It's going to
had
be
2
building
headlamps.
low-income housing. Watch.
Yeah. So you never know, man. And this year I'm prioritizing hydration. I don't give. I'm not even gonna bring that much food. I don't fucking care. Because what happens is I bring so much food, I can't find any of this other stuff because I'm always trying to dig through.
This
so
is
now,
where Sepe's protein treats are going to come in.
oh, don't you worry.
Really handy. They're waterproof. They're
Yes.
dense energy right there. I'm telling you, I wouldn't need anything. I wouldn't bring anything else.
I'm bringing
That and
some
pickle juice.
Yes, pickle juice, clam juice,
Yes.
and my Sepe protein treats because I must have a treat while I'm there.
Yeah, but I mean, rather than packing food.
Yeah, I've never had a video where the protein treat's coming out of the mouth too. It's only going in. So we could do a reverse video of your throw up.
Here's what happens when you drink clam juice and protein treats.
Well,
yeah.
It's
Good
funny
Lord.
because that list would dictate the 30 reasons why I wouldn't do the death race. 1, bring aluminum cans. 2, go in the water. 3, bring a boat. 4. You got. I'll donate to the school, no problem. But
I want to know. I always wonder, with these things. This is not the first time I've heard of a crazy list of shit you got to bring with you. Who thinks of this? I mean, you got to sit in a room with a big bag of weed and I don't know what motor. How do you think of this shit? I mean, like, of all the things you could think of, here's a death. You got to bring crushed aluminum cans. Who thinks of that? And the Rubik's Cube. I mean, the Rubik's Cube I could probably understand, but crushed aluminum cans, you're bringing garbage with you.
Bro, you're gonna be in the water you're gonna turn into a prune by the time you turn that Rubik's Cube. So you're gonna have to keep taking breaths, go down. How many rolls you gonna get? Then you're gonna go up, take a breath, and how far are you down?
Dude, I mean, in the video, it just says, the only requirements it says, and you can, it's loose. The interpretation is loose. So it just says it has to be filmed in horizontal format. Make sure there's quality lighting. Your entire face and head and hands must be clearly visible. Part of your video must show you mixing up your cube sides. Part of your video must show your face submerged in clear water while you are solving the Rubik's Cube. You must also show your hands rotating the cube while underwater. It must be between 1 and 2 minutes in length and no longer and not shorter. Oof.
Terrible.
Okay.
You're gonna stick your face in the water, and you're gonna do that. Maybe at very best you'll get a minute and a half, minute or whatever on the first one, and then after that it's gonna be like Eddie Murphy when he was trapped in that vault in the movie, like this, with the breath.
Yeah.
Before you start going down, like trying to get that.
I got news for you. If I read that shit, that would be my fuck this moment. I
smiled. I laughed. I laughed at the absurdity because I'm like, how am I going to do this? I don't know, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done.
I'd rather be shot out of a cannon into like the weeds.
Something
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. Something else.
And that might happen. Who knows? Maybe they will shoot us out of a cannon this year.
That's what the aluminum cans are for. Why?
The Rubik's Cube out of the cannon.
I think in the past, I think
they trick. You got to get shot out of the canyon and solve the Rubik's Cube while you're in the air before you land in a big pit of crushed aluminum cans.
As you're drinking clam juice. While
you're drinking clam juice. Yes.
And you gotta land in the boat.
On the other hand.
You know what?
You gotta land in your boat.
I'm going to buy some clam juice and I'll taste it on here for Thursday just to see what it tastes like. Because I hope I don't have to drink it, but they had us bring 2 cans of family-sized beans last year that we had to eat. So I'm guessing if you bring it with you,
syrups.
You did, and then you had to eat them after.
Oh, so it was a dual-use piece of equipment.
Yeah.
What psycho goes into like a supermarket and goes, clam juice is on sale. I'm gonna get 6 of them and like kind of
Well, so how about this, Frank? So last year,
I wanted to go to waste.
it had to say family size on the label, and there was one brand that had it, and the people that were with me, because I was doing another event prior to this, they had to drive. It was a 3-hour round trip to get it, and I realized later that I could have just written family size with a marker on any can, and it would have been fine. But
you are going to drink a Costco size clam juice you would die. I think, wouldn't you? If you drank one of those, I would. I don't know, man.
I would
There's
make
not enough lemons.
I would make linguine and clams and then add the juice to it and eat it that way.
Yeah, sop it up. Sop up the juice
With a
with the
piece of
linguine.
bread. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, ask him if you could bring semolina bread with you. And one semolina bread. Some ragu.
Yeah.
And some
No, well,
semolina
on
bread.
the way upstate, stop on Arthur Avenue in the Bronx and go to an Italian
you go.
grocery. That's what I would do.
Clam juice. Oh, that just
Oh,
sounds so
garlic bread.
gross.
Garlic bread too.
Oh, bro, it looks so awful. Just clam.
Start
I'm looking at it
start
right
with
now.
like a little cap, a
'Cause it's
toothpaste
pretty.
cap, and work your way up.
The 8 ounces is actually it looks pretty big. I mean,
That's a good,
like here, let me see.
good
Like
size.
that's
Yeah,
an
there
8
you
ounce.
go.
That's
And
8 ounces.
there's always sand in the bottom of the jar too. You got it.
You know what? I always hated
Oh.
V8. I couldn't take the V8 tomato
Nah.
juice. People ordered them. Like, are you serious?
And they mix
Like-
clam juice with it.
The
Oh.
V8? No.
Yeah.
Listen,
Never.
I'm
Yeah, I would grab a Yoo-hoo. I would grab a Yoo-hoo, man. I would grab one.
There's a drink in Mexico called the michelada, and it's beer, clam juice, tomato
Jesus.
juice, and hot sauce, and it tastes
Oh.
like vomit. It's the worst. The worst possible combination of things in the entire world. I don't know what they put other shit in it too. It's awful, and it comes in this big bowl with ice cubes in it. You got to, like a ceramic bowl, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And
Oh,
they sit there and
sounds
drink
gross.
5-6 of them in a row, by the pool. It's disgusting.
Jesus.
the other thing.
So, I mean,
The other thing it says is this. At the very bottom, it says, do not try to outwit the gear list or try to cut corners. Several items are there for your safety, and others are there for specific tasks. If you don't have what's needed, you may be eliminated. Oy.
well, look,
Right.
he's trying to cheat death. That's what he's trying
That's
to
right.
do.
So,
He's trying to cheat
well,
death.
yeah, to an extent. But Zach, so do you what you do is probably use that list. And do you actually like try to condense everything so it's
Yeah.
like if they say bring a loaf of bread, you bring the smallest loaf of bread you can find, right?
Right, and I also so that bucket. I'm gonna get a bucket with a 5-gallon bucket. I'm gonna get a bucket that has a lid that I can attach to my backpack that I can stash stuff in there. But I might say, look, I might put all my food in the bucket so that way I know anything I need to eat is in there and all the other shit's in the pockets or whatever. Because I'm disorganized just in general. Like I can't really organize so well, but I'm trying to be better this year to know where stuff is.
Yeah.
It's
What if you have all these crushed cans, right? So the cans are empty, correct?
Yes.
So if there's so how many cans is it? 20?
200.
200. So how many competitors? Maybe everybody is going to pour their clam juice in these aluminum cans, and then one person's going to have to drink
Yeah.
the 200 aluminum cans. You don't know
Yeah.
what to expect.
You know what you're
You
gonna
never
have to do? You're gonna have to blow up the crushed can. You're gonna have to put it in your mouth and blow really hard and uncrush it 200 times in the
it
water
does say-
while you're solving a Rubik's cube, drinking clam juice in a boat.
3 eggs
What?
too. I gotta bring 3 eggs. So maybe it'll be eggs and clam juice for breakfast.
Or maybe you'll drop the clam juice pour it over your heads, and then they'll tie you guys together, and you got to smell like for 45 for a couple hours. You got to smell each other.
Yeah, but that's hysterical. But it's a good point. So it says 3
Oh, yeah.
eggs, right?
Yes.
So we're
Raw
going
eggs,
Yeah.
yeah.
3 raw eggs, 3 cooked eggs, 3
3
quail
raw eggs. It says raw
three-
eggs.
It's raw.
It's
Turtle,
raw.
get turtle
Does
eggs.
it have to be?
They're
I've had
small.
Does it have to be chicken eggs? Going to be like snake eggs or quail
It just says
eggs?
it could be. It could be. Yeah, that's fine. I think
quail eggs are like that big.
because I have had to eat raw eggs there before, like shell and all, which
Yeah.
is fine. Like that's nothing. I didn't care about that. Yeah, they were like,
When
here,
I-
you have to eat it. So I just went, fine.
When I come to do the commentary, I'm going to bring you 3 ostrich eggs. Like this big.
Yo, so there was a dude last year that he got eliminated because he was like he couldn't stop He had diarrhea so bad, it just kept coming out. He was like, and you could see him like at times like waddling away, like, and he would tell everybody like, dude, he's like, I cannot stop. And he was in the water and he was finally like, all right, that's it. I'm done. Cause he was like, it was running out of his leg. It was just so bad.
Oh, he crapped in the water?
Oh, he's crapping everywhere. To walk was he could not move. And he said, I talked to him like months later, and he said it took weeks. He had to go to the doctor. There was something going on with his stomach.
So did he catch that from the stream? Is it like so?
It's possible. He may have got it from there. And then another dude that I wanted to go with me again, he tore both hamstrings the day of the start of it. So, and he stayed in it for a day and a half. He stayed in it for, and he said it took 6 months he said it took months for his hamstrings to actually heal, and he couldn't train. Didn't have enough time to train for this year. And he showed me pictures. It was gross.
So you're going to stick your face in the water where this guy has diarrhea. You're going to come out with a mustache.
That's right. Yeah. Hopefully it goes well with clam sauce.
I'm getting nauseous just listening to you two.
John, you see where this is going? Clam sauce, diarrhea, stick your face in the water, do the Rubik's Cube.
This is a recipe for typhoid.
If John and I are there, we're going to die because we're going to be laughing so hard. Our ribs are going to be...
I'm going to be crying. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I can watch this. This is.
I would love it because I got the approval. Everything is good. I would love it if you guys were. But listen, that's the thing. You can technically have like crew there to help you. I never do. I just have people that follow the race. You can have people sign up as crew, but I just never do that. I just listen. I'm going in, and
you're gonna win. You're gonna win.
That's
you're
right.
Gonna win. But explain to John how I won't yield to peer pressure and how you saw that firsthand at the High Rocks event in a crowded place. Explain.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think so. Yeah. Listen, I don't even know what they were saying to Frank, but all of a sudden you hear him say, I tell you to shut the hell up or something. And then everyone's like, oh, so that he was like, I'm not doing peer pressure. And let me tell you, these folks here are going to see him in his size and they're going to say, oh my God, this guy, they're going to try to do, and he's just going to be like, no. And then I'm know for a fact he will snap at somebody and then they will realize that he's not going to succumb to peer pressure.
Listen, the event, the High Rocks thing was amazing and this and that.
Yeah, it's great.
But every time, people couldn't be nicer, made a ton of connections, met an old friend who's the CEO of F45. High Rocks was awesome, the center fit people. But yeah, this guy who won the High Rocks, and he actually came on my Instagram and friended me, but he was like, well, grab the kettlebells and go 200 meters with these kettlebells, right? And I was like, he's like, okay, go now. And I was like, do you think because you just told me to do it, I go, that I'm going to do it? I go, I would just tell you to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Before I even do the thing. I wasn't going to do it, but it wasn't all in jest. But there's no way, when you hit a certain age, I think it is too, and people are like, oh, you're a big dude. Like someone's like, hey man, help me move. You're a big dude. And you're like, no. My muscles are for the gym, man. Like, I know exactly what to do where I'm not getting hurt. When I'm going to move a piano with you and slightly turn 6 inches and tear my entire shoulder, you know?
Don't you hate that? People ask you to move shit all the time. It's like, I think after you're like 25, you should never ask anybody to help you move. I mean, that is an absolute sign of I am a failure. That I can't afford, a moving. I got to ask my friends to pick my shit up, So and because you get hurt. I have a friend of mine. I'm being a hypocrite. A friend of mine helped me move a tabletop I made. It was glass reinforced concrete, and it was about 250 pounds. He's getting ready for a show. He's 4 weeks out. He says, "I'll help you move it." So we get ready, we start lifting, he tears his right bicep completely off the bone. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
I felt so horrible about that. I mean, I would never ask anybody to help me move anything ever again. I'm calling somebody that does it for like a living.
Yeah.
I used to do
That,
it with Tony
me too.
Pandolfo as a living as a mover for like 10 years to 11 years. From the time I was
Oh
13,
wow.
15 till I was 15, no, 15 till I was about college, about 20, about 5, yeah, 6, 5, whatever it was, 6 years, 7 years. But it's no joke. You know,
Yeah.
you have unlimited amount of endurance and strength when you're younger. But even then, the next day, it's like being in a car crash when you're
Yeah,
moving
it
an
hurts.
entire like 10,000 square foot home and boxes and stuff. You have to be in
Hmm.
some serious shape. But yeah, man. And it's with these fitness videos, people doing the shock value and they getting hurt on the videos and they getting killed. Like God rest his soul. Look what happened to Greg Plitt, you know, with the
Yeah.
train. You know, that was an
Oh,
accident. I did a video last year. This guy was like, "Hey man, we're gonna raise money. Guy's gonna dress up as an Easter bunny, and I think it's funny. You're gonna take his job, like you're holding up this banner, and then you're gonna body slam the Easter bunny." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds funny, whatever." So the Easter, so whatever, I'll do it, whatever for charity. So the Easter bunny comes over. Now, if you know wrestling, the body slam involves the other guy to jump up into
Hmm.
your arms a little bit and
right.
not be dead weight. Well, this Easter bunny was 285 pounds. So I pick
Oh,
up the Easter bunny. Yeah, and I could just hear my back pop in the back. I was like,
Ooh,
"Oh God, man," because I have the disc issue, and I was like, for 4 weeks, I couldn't even like do anything that I could normally do in a gym. Why? Because I was doing something it's stupid for a video. Like it's just
yep.
stupid. So you got to be careful, man.
man, I was thinking it was going to be some like little tiny kid, and that you body
Yeah.
slam, and it was going to like crack in half. Whereas at 285, some dude that's running at you like that, like,
What's an Easter bunny? 285 pounds. Easter bunny's supposed to be like 3 feet tall, right? Like, he's a bunny. I was like, dude, what happened? It's like,
Yeah, right.
it's
Hence
this
the
big,
name, Bunny.
yeah, it comes in as Godzilla. I'm like, this guy's doing it. I'm like, yo, jump. Have you ever tried to pull up 285 pounds at 50 years old and try to body slam him? Now, there's an ego involved because you have to do it because you're on camera live doing it. But one of the stupidest things I've ever done. Stupidest. I'm like, I paid the price for for 4 weeks.
I
gosh,
think if
I
I
don't know. It
go
is what it
over
is.
all of my injuries, I would probably say half of them was because I was doing something stupid.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
Probably right
Same
about
here.
half. Yeah.
I
yeah.
tore my bicep throwing a punch and missing. I wish I had a better story, but my arms were tight from the workout, and we were doing kickboxing afterwards, and I threw a punch and I missed, and I was like, wow, that's sore. I'm
Oh,
like, it was never the same. Yeah.
I broke my wrist missing a punch. Missed his
Yeah.
face and hit the wall. Broke my wrist.
oh,
Oh, wow.
No, not my wrist, my hand right here. Yeah,
oh
Hand,
and it was
man.
a
yeah.
bad punch too because I hit him with my pinky. That was it was terrible. It was all wrong in every step of the way, and it was being stupid, and I ended up with a broken hand.
And you had to repair the wall. No,
No, it was a concrete wall. The wall
oh,
survived.
so the wall was okay. Yeah, the
The
wall did
wall was
fine. No,
okay.
it just messed up your hand.
You ever see
But
these idiots
So,
that punch holes in walls through the
yeah.
drywall? I'm
Major
like,
League Baseball pitchers.
yeah,
Major League
but yeah,
Baseball pitchers after they, like, what are you
right.
doing?
But you know what's funny is every 16 inches there's a stud, and it's
Yeah.
like if you hit one of those, I'm sorry,
Again,
you're going to break everything from here to the middle of your back. You know,
split it in half. You got to get the stud finder before the game to find out where the studs are. What are they supposed to be? 16 inches a piece.
so you have this
Look
much of a
where.
chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
so
You
John,
break your hand.
so Frank and I were at this thing. He mentioned it, but it's so High Rocks is this event. It's like an outdoor event that's
So
blown
cool.
up. Yeah, it's blown up, man. And like they now pair with, or they're teamed up with Center, who are making equipment just for that. Center it started as Chris Hemsworth's app, like his training app, and now they're kind of moving into all that stuff. But I gotta say, I was really, I don't know, I was really into. It could be
Yeah.
fun to do it. I don't think that I would ever be like do well at it necessarily, but it looks pretty cool, and I would definitely try it.
Wow. As far as events go, it was on Pier 76 in Manhattan,
It's
the
beautiful.
right on the river and stuff. It
Oh
was
wow!
amazing, like backdrop. And I thought it was so cool. Like, you have to push a sled, you have to pull it back. There's like, you have to run, you have to do these like rowing machines, you got to do burpees, you got to throw this ball up. Like, it's
Oof.
legitimate test of endurance and
Yeah, it's a
strength.
lot.
But yeah, Zach and I were debating whether or not we were gonna train and do it in 2025. We gotta go watch one, but the people couldn't have been nicer. And honestly, I
Yeah.
was really impressed. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
See,
I liked
that's
it.
the benefit of being as old as I am. I know immediately, not even to think about that. It's not even a question. The answer is no. You know?
It just looked like an easy place to like it. Because here's the thing: if you're going to compete, obviously you're going to get people that are going to be competitive with you. But there's also folks that just run it just to see where they're at, just to see if they could complete it. There's
Yeah.
no one's going to sit there and try to shame you for your time. If you get through it, you get through it. And that was the thing that sold me on it, because look, I'm not like the dude that was showing us how to do the sled. I mean, he was clearly in another category of conditioning that I certainly am not in.
Well,
But
you got to look, and it's like, if we legitimately did this, I'd have to probably be 190. So I'd have to
yeah,
drop 40, 50 pounds.
yeah, I know.
Because you got
Probably.
these guys who look like they're avatars from Harvard crew team, who are the Boss twins. They're 6'5", 6'5" guys, like with the body to do the rowing machine, and then
Yeah,
here come two junkyard dogs, basically coming in to the mix. It's a different dynamic, like so. But if I trained, I wouldn't be like, well, I just want to train because it's fun. I'm training to win. Like, I'm
yeah.
going in, I'm doing, I'll do everything to possibly win. If I come in at 190, 195, I would put it this way: I would have done the course 3 times forward, 3 times backwards before I showed up. So if I didn't win, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
That's just my mentality.
Yeah,
And I have to
never
compete
show up
against
unless
guys
you
who are
know you're going to
25.
win, right?
I'm gonna put Frank's a link to Frank's reels in the comments. So if anybody wants to see, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there from what he posted a bunch, and also you can see his taco. So if you guys want to get a look at that, that's in
I'm
there.
sure there's a lot of dudes that want to look at Frankie's taco.
I should have
My
reworded
taco.
that, but it's okay. There's probably a different way I could have said that.
I still think of I still think of Jim Carrey and Me, Myself, and Irene. When that lady, turns into a schizophrenic online, and he goes, "What's the matter? Got too much cheese on the taco?" That's the lady. I'll never forget. I love that movie. It's just
It's a
so
funny
fucking
movie.
stupid.
I do. That
know.
movie is good too.
Yep.
But all right, we went about hour and 10 minutes. Let's do
Yeah,
that, John.
that's
We actually
good.
cut it off at the just about almost on time, and we got to talk to
Yeah.
George. We
Yeah,
covered a
I thought
lot.
it was. I really liked George, man. That was a good interview.
Yeah,
I'm only
Cool
bringing
dude.
people on who who are cool. There's a guy who's a strength coach at the Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to ask him to come on Thursday. His name is Matt Krause. See if
If
he's
he don't-
available.
let's get Jimmy Mentis on.
Okay, yeah, Jimmy. Tell Jimmy if
Yeah,
you
I
want
know.
Jimmy to come on Thursday.
What day you want him? He has
Come
got
on
some great
Thursday.
stories, man.
yeah,
Yeah, tell Jimmy to come on Thursday.
Thursday, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
I love
All right.
Jimmy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a
All
great dude. Yeah,
Thursday
everybody
it
will like
is.
him too because he's affable.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thursday it is, and we'll be back on Thursday. And this is caps, no caps. I actually said it again. I got to
Yeah.
get into the habit. But yeah, for now, time to get going. See everybody. Thanks for all the comments, and have a good day.